Hello, dear friends. I hope you're doing really well. Let's continue reading. We're in the book of Numbers, chapter 24, verse 17. Now, we know here we have Balaam, who is a magician, somebody that practices divination, and Balak, the king of Moab, has hired Balaam, the magician from Syria, to curse Israel. If Balaam curses Israel, then Israel will be weak, and then Balak will be able to kick them out, to destroy them, and all this plan, as you can tell, is really evil because who is Balak, right? Balak is just a person. He's not the owner of the earth, but he has this evil plan because he's really scared of Israel, because Israel is a big nation. They're strong people. They already defeated like two or three strong kingdoms in the promised land. God gave them the victory. So now Moab, the king of Moab, he's scared, even though God is not gonna kick out Moab from that land. We're gonna know that in the book of Deuteronomy, but he's really scared. Balak, the king of Moab, he's really scared, and he has this evil plan. But God will not allow Israel to be cursed because God says so. God says, "I will bless those who bless you," and I will. And that He says that to Israel. God says to Israel, "I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse those who curse you." And this is in the book of Numbers. We see something very, very similar. I don't know if exactly the same in Genesis. And we know difference even later in the Old Testament. We know all the kingdoms that curse Israel or treat Israel badly. They are judged. So God still is blessing Israel. God still has a plan for Israel. God still has a good future for Israel. God loves Israel, and who are we, right? Who are we to say otherwise? So let's keep reading. I see him now. This is the after blessing Israel three times, Balaam is gonna give prophecies about the end times. So this is one prophecy. I see him, but not now. I behold him, but not near. A star shall come forth from Jacob. A scepter shall rise from Israel and shall crush through the forehead of Moab and tear down all the sons of Shet. So here is a prophecy, like many prophecies in one. First, the come of a star. This is Jesus Christ, the King. But not only his first coming, this is also his second coming, where he's gonna come and judge all the nations of the earth, right? So let's keep going. Edom shall be a possession, Seir, its enemies, also will be a possession, while Israel performs valiantly. One from Jacob shall have dominion and will destroy the remnant from the city. And he looked at Amalek. Now, Amalek is another people. They come from Edom, but it's a different people already, but they come from Edom. He looked at Amalek and took up his discourse and said, Amalek was the first of the nations, but his end shall be destruction. And he looked at the Kenite and took up his discourse and said, your dwelling place is enduring, and your nest is set in the cliff. Nevertheless, Cain will be consumed. How long will Ashur keep you captive? Then he took up his discourse and said, alas, who can live except God has ordained it? But ships shall come from the coast of Kittim, and they shall afflict Ashur, and will afflict ever, so they also will come to destruction. It's like Balaam is having this vision of the end times. Then Balaam arose and departed and returned to his place, and Balak also went his way. So now the whole thing has finished. The whole attempt to curse Israel has finished, dear friends. Balaam was not able to curse Israel, not one time, not two times, not three times, no. He blessed Israel, and each blessing was bigger than the one before. The last two or three things were like prophecies. It's like God gave Balaam a vision of the end times. But what happened? What is going on now? See, from the end of chapter 24 till the beginning of chapter 25, something happens. Something big happens. Something bad and big happens. And this is going to happen. And we're going to know this because God is going to tell us a little later in the book of Numbers. But this is what's going to happen. After Balaam leaves, Balak, the king of Moab, also leaves. Balaam is going to gather together with Moab and Midian. Midian is another people, right? Moab is one nation, Midian is another nation. Both of them are against Israel. So Balaam is going to get together with them, with Moab and Midian, maybe the kings, I don't know, but the kings of those people. And he's going to give this really evil advice because he wasn't able to curse Israel, but Balaam still wants gold, silver, and worldly honor. He's going to give this advice to the people of Moab and the people of Midian. And what is that advice? To trick Israel into committing a terrible sin. How is that going to happen? The women of Midian and the women, I would say the beautiful women of Moab and the beautiful women of Midian, they're going to go to the men of Israel and they're going to tell them, oh, I invite you, come here, we're going to go to this party, let's go eat. So they invite the men of Israel to eat from the animals that have been sacrificed to this false god, but Baal Peor. Baal, that's the false god. And I don't know the details, but I think this false god was like how do you say, a god of fertility, I think. Because the children of Israel are gonna fornicate. I mean, fornicate that two ways that is in the Bible. Fornicate sexually, with the women of Moab and Midian. And fornication in the Bible is also worshipping false gods. Why is that? Because when you worship a false god, dear friends, you're giving yourself to that false god. So the children of Israel, the men of Israel, are going to commit fornication, regular meaning sexually, and also a spiritual fornication because they're going to worship this false god, Baal Peor. So, what was the plan of Balaam? To have the beautiful women of Moab and Midian, both nations, Moab and Midian, to invite the men of Israel to their parties, to their meals, to their, I don't know. And when they go to these parties or this, to go eat, they participate, eating these things sacrificed to for a false god called Baal Peor, and also they're going to commit fornication, both regular meaning and spiritual, regular meaning sexually and spiritually by worshipping this false god. So both Moab and Midian are in this evil plan. However, the interesting thing we're going to see, God is going to tell us that Midian, the people of Midian have more responsibility in this situation. Moab, yes, is there too, but Midian is like worse. Their participation in all this plan is worse, is more and worse. And it's really sad, after all these blessings, to find out this. It's, just, you say, I know, right? But God is going to judge because God is with Israel. God is in the tabernacle. He has to judge. And He's going to judge. And judgment will be done. the people that have committed this horrible thing will be judged, and still God will be with Israel. They still keep going forward, still continuing to the promised land. So, God willing, we can continue tomorrow. Bye bye.